Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the flight deck. Unfortunately, we're still experiencing streaming issues, so rather than go with nothing, we decided that we're going to be recording these flights and we will put them out as videos. So we are continuing our tour of Canada. We're in Quebec City right now. Beautiful day out. It's about -11, but clear blue skies and almost no clouds in the area. We're going to be taking our Boeing 737 here and flying down to Ottawa, and flying along is Kevin. He's over there in the CRJ, and we are on VATSIM, so hopefully we'll get a little bit of traffic. We can see a United Airlines tail off in the distance there as well. Looks like he's heading down to Halifax. So let's hop on board the aircraft and we can start getting her set up. I'll get the power on and we'll just talk about the flight. Alright, we're on board now. As we can see, we're starting to frost up slightly, so we'll go through our routine here. We'll get the parking brake on and up to the overhead. That's batteries on, standby power on, emergency exit lights are on, and we'll get the panel lights up in all sections. And down here for the pedestal. And with that done, we'll pop back up on top, turn on the ground power. We'll get the position lights on steady. We're going to lean back, get the two IRSs over to nav. And there we go. So I'm going to go through the process of getting the aircraft all set up and ready to go, and we'll be back when we're ready to do our initial radio check and get ready for engine start. Alright, we're pretty much all set up. We're self-cleared as there is no ATC on currently here at Quebec, but we're going to do a radio check and just see how things are going with the radios, and we should be pretty much ready to get ready to go. Quebec Terminal, Air Canada 5556 radio check.
5x5, how many should I contact, sir?
You are 5x5 as well.
Thank you.
Alright, so we can go back to our other page here, our EFB, bring up the route, and as we take a look at the route, we're going to be taking off along the St. Lawrence here, then we're going to kind of head off in a westward direction out over land. We're going to be moving, get that off, we're going to be moving across north of Montreal, so then swinging south down towards the Ottawa River and into Ottawa itself. That is the planned flight, and we are getting pretty much ready to go. So everything is set, the aircraft is all done, boarding is complete. Come over here, we'll check our doors. We'll get them closed. Now we get the stairs put away. You hear First Officer Molly growling in the background. Maybe here we'll just take a quick look outside. I may be on the wrong profile. Give me a second here. I'll be right back. Alright, that's better. Fix that. So that is all good. We can come out. He wants us to close the doors. So let's pop back in here. Tell it to close the doors. Doors are closing. There we go. Return there back over to ground services. And they're pulling the stairs away. So we'll get ready for our start. Doors are closed. Ground equipment is now clearing. Chocks have been removed and ground power is disconnected. We'll come over here. We'll put on the anti-collision light. We'll get that set up. So Roger's kind of set up on his side. I'm set up on mine. We're going to come up top. Fuel pumps are going to go on for all the main tanks. We have no fuel in the center tank.
Traffic in Charlie Golf and Quebec Golf is 1 mile to the west of this. Inbound on the DSAC at 4 arrival for only T4, passing 15,000 kilometers.
I believe that is a King Air coming in. Very nice. Alright, so we're going to get ready for our push and start. Alright, so we are currently parked. And we're going to have to de-ice.
Vehicles are coming now.
So we're currently parked. We're going to be wanting to go our tail right, nose left. When we get to that point. Let's see. For some reason, Navigraph is not showing my aircraft, so I'm just going to restart it.
Confirm aircraft is ready for treatment.
Yeah, you can do your thing as I reset my
We begin treatment now and observe. Fluid type 1, concentration at 75%. I will call you back when ready.
Alright, and Navigraph is having issues now. Excellent. Alright, so we're going to get the de-icing here. There we go. We did have a lot of ice built up on the aircraft and on the windows, although that's finally starting to clear. It is pretty cold out. Trying this with the Navigraph in administrator mode, see if that works a little bit better. Give that a minute to sort itself out.
Quebec traffic, Yankee Quebec Golf, Kinnear, Yankee Quebec Golf, we're 10 miles northwest. Proceeding for right inbound wind only 24 out of 9.5 for 5,000.
Yeah, Navigraph is acting up, so we're just going to ignore that for the moment. What we are going to want is to come down to our charts page for our arrival.
De-icing and anti-icing completed. Anti-icing code is fluid type.
We're going to be coming in on the Limi 5,
Good day.
and we're going to be doing the RNAV Zulu for runway 14. So we're going to be
Due to icing conditions, please stand by until push is
coming in
completed
here
and
at
brakes are set.
Alido and then down. We're going to be coming in this way around, and then we are going to do the Elogi down to
Hello,
Raffno,
Captain.
and then in
We are
on
ready
our
for
nav.
pushback.
That is the plan. here they come. We're finally all defrosted. We'll get her pushed back, and we'll get ready to go. Alright, parking brakes are set. We're going to start engine. So fuel pumps are on, packs are now off. Start ignition mode selector is to both. Starting engine number 2. Start valve is open.
Stow all personal items. Make sure your seatbelts are fastened and seat backs and tray tables are all in their full upright position. We remind you that this is a non-smoking flight, and that includes vaping. Tampering with, disabling, or destroying the smoke detectors located in the lavatories is strictly prohibited by law. All of this information and more can be found in the safety card located in the seat back in front of you. We suggest reading this and letting a cabin member know if you have any questions. Thank you for flying with us again, and we hope you enjoy your flight.
There's starter cutoff. Starting engine number 1. Good start on engine number 2, adding fuel. Engine cutout, we'll let them know we've got the good start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. Please disconnect.
Alright. Carry on with our post-engine start. So, running up top. Engine main generators 1 and 2 are now on.
Quebec traffic, Yankee, Quebec Golf for you.
Generator 1 is on there. Engine 1 and 2 start switches will go to continuous. Probe heats are now coming on. Engine anti-ice, wing anti-ice, not required. We're defrosted.
Unlocking
it's not
Cabin is secure.
packs
Ready for departure.
1 and 2 are on. Engine leads 1 and 2 are on. Recirculation fan is auto. Isolation valves are auto. APU bleed is now off. APU is
Tow
off.
truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Popping down now. We'll come down here to the flaps. Flaps set
Left is
1 for
clear.
takeoff.
Right is clear.
Elevator trim, we want 5.56, which is roughly 5.5. So 5.5 is set. Flight controls, we'll do a quick flight control check. It's full left, full right, neutral, forward, back, neutral, left rudder, right rudder, neutral. Engine instruments, quick scan, everything is looking good. Get the information up there. LNAV and heading select.
And Quebec traffic, Quebec Air 172 on the 10 miles, final runway 24.
We'll deal with that when we're in the air. That's fine. Auto throttles on. Flight directors are now coming on. There's VNAV heading select. Is set. Warning recall. We will check and we are clear. Taxi light will come on. They've given us the indicator. We're all good there. And auto brakes are set to RTO. Quebec area traffic, Air Canada 5556, taxiing runway 24 via apron 1, Delta 1, Delta, holding short at Echo. Alright, brakes released. Away we go.
Quebec traffic, traffic is clear, we'll push it there from Assembly 1 and we'll get now.
King Air just landed. Yeah, there he is right over there.
Quebec traffic, Yankee Quebec Golf. We're clear of runway 24 on Alpha. We'll hold short on Alpha for the Air Canada traffic there passing ahead of us.
Excellent. He's going to hold.
And Quebec traffic, Quebec Air 172. Is there anybody left on the baton?
You asked on the apron or on the runway?
On the pattern, on the approach. Anybody left on the approach? Quebec Air 172 is on a 3 miles final, 24.
Yankee Quebec Golf is clear of the runway on Alpha.
Roger.
And there's our turn. We're on Delta.
Yankee Quebec Golf will be taxiing behind the Air Canada 737 via Delta to the provincial hangar.
That's just ahead of us there. So he's going to be following us in. There he is back over there. Alright, so Navigraph is playing up. I'm not sure why we're having so many issues nowadays. Navigraph has been doing this for a while. Streamlabs has been doing this for a while. It's very annoying. And here is Echo. So we've got an aircraft in on short final. That's fine, we'll hold until he is down. Not seeing him yet. A little bit of a stutter there. Oh, there he is. Pretty stiff wind here. Should be good to go. So come up here, we'll come to a stop. And let's go through our pre-departure. So fuel flow reset. And we'll get our new fuel rate. Both engines should be roughly equal. There we go. V speeds are set 131, 132, 135. MCP is set, initial climb speed 145. Initial heading 241 and a climb altitude 34,000 feet. Nav data is good. Radios are all set and we are ready to go. So position lights will go to strobe and steady. Taxi light will come off. Turn off lights are on. Landing lights are on. Transponder is TARA. Traffic is now on both sides. Runway is confirmed, runway 24 at Echo. And just watching him clearing.
Quebec traffic, Quebec Air 172 is clear of the active. We'll vacate via Delta for the runway 29.
Quebec area traffic, Air Canada 5556, take position, runway 24. Taking position. Alright.
Traffic, come to 55, taking for the Quebec runway 24, 38, and
so up and going. Nice wiggle on the horizontal stabilizer and elevators on the back as that wind is hitting them on an angle. love seeing the snow on the ground out here. Very accurate representation of what it would be
And
like.
Quebec traffic, Quebec Air 172, runway 29 is clear.
There we go. Everything is looking good. There is the Quebec airport, and we are good to go. So, flaps are set, speed brake is up, auto brakes are set to RTO, engines coming up to 40%.
And Quebec traffic, can you hear Charlie Golf Yankee Quebec Golf, the provincial hangar, taxiing Delta, Echo, short of runway 24.
There we go. Clock is running. Quebec area traffic, Air Canada 5556, departing runway 24 to the west. And takeoff power is set. Check.
Quebec traffic, Yankee Quebec Golf on Echo, lining up on 84.
And
Rate of climb.
gear up. Autopilot on. So positive rate, gear is up, autopilot is engaged, auto brake is off, gear is up, no lights. Gear lever is off, engine start switches to continuous, nose coming down for acceleration. And we are going to now head off on course. So we're going to go direct to YQB. I'll execute that. Go into LNAV.
Quebec traffic, Yankee Quebec Golf, we're taking off runway 24, VFR departure to the southwest, climbing to 10.5.
Climbing out. That's good. Flaps up. And runway turn-off lights are now off. And flaps are fully retracted. Cabin pressurization is looking normal. It's 5,000 feet.
Quebec traffic, Yankee Quebec Golf, on runway 24, passing 1,000, returning.
See, we got a really good rate of climb here. Almost 4,000 feet per minute at cold air is really helping out.
25, short 24, they put 100 seconds to coming.
And there we are. Heading out along the St. Lawrence, we're going to head down to the VOR, which is just in front of us at that bend in the river. And then we're going to make a bit of a right turn and head a little bit more inland before we do another left turn and parallel the seaway for a bit. There's 10,000 feet coming up. Quebec area traffic, Air Canada 5556, 10 miles to the southwest over Yankee Quebec Bravo. Climbing through 10,000, last call for Quebec. So we'll go lights off, retract those, that's all good. In the back, seatbelt signs can now come off. accelerating up to our climb speed. There we go. We'll get our new rate of climb and we'll climb up to cruise.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000 feet. You may now turn on your larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to please keep your seatbelt fastened while you're seated, not constantly in the galley or near the lavatory. This aircraft is equipped with onboard Wi-Fi. You will be required to pay a small fee if you wish to access.
Still getting 3,500
We
feet
offer
per minute,
complimentary
which
in-flight
is pretty incredible.
to our partners. Connect to the Wi-Fi and
So we'll give you a few views as we head out. We're going to climb up. I'll be back and we will brief the arrival into Ottawa shortly. Alright, so we're about 31 miles out of top of descent now. So we're going to start checking our weather and everything we are going to need. So we'll get the current weather for Ottawa. Looks like winds are 110 at 5. Broken clouds in the area at about 3,600 feet. Minus 7 degrees and 3045 is the barrow. So let's get 3045 dialed in. And it is set. We'll get our arrival data entered in. We're going to be doing a full flaps 40 landing. So we'll make sure that is in and ready to go. Go back to cruise. Landing altitude. The elevation here at Ottawa is 377 feet, so it'll be 400 feet. Radios, we are good. It's an RNAV, so localizer, ILS frequency, of course, not required. Engine anti-ice is all off. We're clear on there. MCP is good. We're going to reset our altitude down to 10,000 feet. And then we'll take a look at our charts and see where we're going from there. Alright, so that is set. Altimeters we have set to 3045. Minimums on the RNAV is going to be 286 feet or 637 feet on the decision height. So using that, we are going to go to 637. Around. There's no ILS on this runway approach. That's the RNAV. Missed approach is going to be climb to 3,000 feet. Then we're going to track straight out ahead to 140 to Texan, which is the hold point for the missed approach. Auto brakes. Runway length is 10,000 feet. So we're going to go to auto brakes for landing. Just making our little turn here at Milsett and heading to Smurrow. And we are now just 12 miles from our top of descent. So we can do a quick couple little checks here on our charts here. You can see that we're coming down to Raffo, and then we're going to be heading inbound on the RNAV. So we'll go to the next page. You can see it goes back to Ilgo and then Raffo again. So we're going to pick up the Raffo and then come back to Raffno. go. And that is now in and set. We can also check the minimums. So at Elogi, and then Rathno, 3,500 feet at Rathno, as it says above, but we'll go for a hard 3,500. And then 2,000 at Alpat, which is correct. And we are now in our descent. Ottawa area traffic, Air Canada 5556 overhead, Smurro leaving flight level 340 inbound on the Lemmy 5 arrival for the Arnav Zulu runway 14 Ottawa. So we're going to set our minimum, our approach down to our minimum, which is going to be 600 feet. We'll be taking over manually before then, but this just allows us to get the aircraft down to that altitude on the RNAV. And we're heading down. We'll pick up again once we're a bit further down, below 10,000 feet. We are coming up for 10,000 feet. We've set a slower speed. We're going to start accelerating right now. And as soon as we drop below 250, we will get our flaps to start coming in. No change in the weather. It's all good. We're still facing 5-knot wind at 110. We're landing on 140, so that is good there. Still on the RNAV, and everything is looking fine. You can see we're coming in now. Ottawa is off this way with the Ottawa River, and we can see that cloud layer down there that I talked about. So we're all good there. So as we get down, we're going to throw our lights on and get them on. We'll get our logos on as well. We'll turn the seatbelts back on for the people in the back. Make sure they have their seatbelts on. Alright, so there's 10,000 feet. Speed's back, so we're going to go flaps 1. We're going to go all the way to flaps 5. Engines are going to start spooling back. And flaps 5 is set. And there's 9,000 feet. So we're making the turn now. As we said, we're coming in for the intercept on the LNAV. There's the path we'll be taking. Quebec area traffic, or correction, Ottawa area traffic, Air Canada 5556 over Aledo, descending through 9,000 feet. Inbound on the Lemmy 5 arrival, Arnav Zulu, runway 14 Ottawa. Alright, so we do have some speed limits coming up. And once we hit Dunham, we're going to slow down to 200 knots. That will set us up for that turn. There's the Ottawa River off in the distance. So Ottawa is on the, well, technically south side of the river that bends around, which is in Ontario. And the town of Hull is on the north side, which is the Quebec side. We're looking good, and Kevin is coming down behind us here. That speed at 245. No other traffic in the area, although there are there's one aircraft leaving for Toronto out of Ottawa, and there's a A320. Oh, it looks like he's already down in Toronto. It looks there's an A320 coming in from Toronto apparently, but he may be down as well since there's only the two of us showing on the lines. So we're to the clouds. It is -1. We're going to come up. We're going to turn on the engine ice, or anti-ice, just in case. And short flight today. You can see we're already only 37 minutes in. Just coming through the clouds. There's the Ottawa River. Pretty much where Ottawa is over there. So we're going to be looping around and then landing to the southeast. This is the famous Rideau Canal as well, where it freezes over in the winter and they go skating on it. I think it's the world's longest outdoor skating rink. Alright, there's Dunham, slowing to 210 knots. Speed coming back. We're actually gets the maximum. We're going to go down to 200 so I can go 10 degrees flap, so it gives us a slower speed at that tighter turn. And when we hit 210 or lower, we'll drop the next section of flaps. For now. All right, 5 miles on. Gonna go to approach mode. Final approach course and glide path are now armed. See both of those indicating. And we're down to 200 knots, so let's go with the next notch of flaps down to 10 degrees. Ottawa River is straight ahead. And there's Ottawa itself, built up over there. The airport's just to the south. And glide path is now armed and captured. Let's bring our speed down to 185 now. Just don't want to be going too fast in this turn. There's the airport. See our runway right there. Currently over the Quebec side of the river, and we are making our turn. Ottawa area traffic, Air Canada 5556 over Rathno, 3,500 feet, descending in on the Arnav Zulu runway 14, Ottawa. So we're 7 miles out. We're going to bring the speed back to 165. Sending down rolling level. Six miles, gear down. Speed's going to start coming back. 3 green, flaps 15. 170, flaps 25. Ottawa area traffic, Air Canada 5556, established Arnav Zulu 145 miles, Ottawa. Alright, so 129 plus 5, so that's going to be a 134 for our final approach speed. That is now set. Speed brakes are armed. Auto brake set to 2. Gear down. Flaps 30. And lights are all on. Engines are set for continuous. Wing lights are all set there, and everything is good up top. Good over the city of Ottawa. And speed is set, 134. Less than 1,000 to go. Flaps full. Gear down 3, green, cabin is notified, lights are all on. Runway identified, recall is clear. Wind's almost straight down the pipe. It's going to be slightly off to our left. It's fine. It's 500 feet. I have control.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Continue. Ottawa. Center line reversers are green. Looking good. Reversers off. Manual brakes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ottawa. The local time is 4:06 p.m. and it's currently about -7 degrees Celsius.
Didn't
So
want
now
to come
use
to
your
a
mobile
stop.
devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is
Auto
turned
brakes
off.
didn't kick
Remember
off
to
when I
use
touched
caution
them.
when opening the overhead bins as items may have shifted during the flight. We thank you for flying with us.
It's one thing about this, you need a lot of brake to kick off the auto brakes. Ottawa area traffic, Air Canada 5556, clear runway 14 at Charlie, taxiing to gate 20 via Charlie, east taxi lane, and the apron. Alright, so let's get the spoilers up, speed brakes, lights off, that taxi, get the APU up, that can come off, that can go down, wing lights come off. All good there, and we start the APU. We're going to head over to gate 20.
Clear Kansas Way 3524 miles left and we're down to the RNAV Yankee report.
Around the corner here. I have flown into this airport a number of times. This is the end Air Canada usually parks up at. We'll get her parked up, shut down, get all the passengers on their way. And here we are. That's not the one. Parking brakes are set. We'll come down here now into the menu. We'll get flight sim actions, ground services. We'll get the chocks put in. We'll get the ground power connected. And coming up top, we'll wait for the ground power to come on. There's the ground power, so we're going to come over here. We'll turn on the ground power. We'll get the APU bleeds on as well. Turn off that. We'll open up the isolation valve. That can come off up there. So we're all good there. We're our good for engine shutdown. Alright, fuel control levers are off. Anti-collision light will come off. Ground equipment is all in place. Fuel pumps, except for the left aft, which is required for the APU, will stay on. Isolation valve is open, and flight directors are now coming off. Clear cautions. We are good, and they can start unloading.
The boarding requested.
So here we are in Ottawa, I believe, and I will just do a quick check. There is one more leg to go, and we're going to be flying back to Toronto where we started, and that will wrap up this series. So while we wait for Kevin to come in and land his aircraft, we'll say goodbye. Again, unfortunately, this isn't live, it is recorded, but until I get that streaming issue sorted out, this is the way it's going to be. Take care. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.
Passengers, the boarding starting.